Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's video, we are going to do a short tutorial on how to apply for the SANAS bursary scheme. This particular bursary is available to all career choices and it covers the following NQF levels, which is 6 for diploma, 7 for degree, and lastly 8 for honors or any postgraduate degree or diploma thereafter. This particular bursary closes on the 30th of January 2026 at 4:30. You would need to complete your application form and attach it along with your supporting documents to the applicable email address, which I will share with you in this particular tutorial. Without further ado, let's apply and complete the application form. We are on the SANAS website where we will get more information about the bursary scheme. And as you can see, which are loaded in front of me, on the latest news and events, this is where the bursary advert is then displayed. You would obviously get the application form as well as the bursary advert on these particular two attachments here. They provide the closing date as well as the email address that you would need to send your completed application form as well as your supporting documents. But let's head over then to the actual advert, which just kind of gives more information in a comprehensive manner. Or just kind of reiterates this particular section just to kind of show you exactly what they're trying to allude. And then it's obviously indicates that the bursary application for 2026 academic year is now open. The SANAS external bursary program is open for applications. The program is aimed to support unemployed South African youth who are committed to advancing their education. However, please note this following section obviously reads, the bursary program only covers for tuition as follows. National diploma or degree up to 50,000, honors or postgraduate diploma up to 70,000. So if you are studying in a different province, please ensure that you have funds for accommodation, food, and traveling. But if you are studying in the province where you're living in or you're residing in, and it's kind of close to university, then this is the ideal bursary that you can apply for, because that means you will not have as much expenses that you would need to incur. Then to apply, submit the bursary application form and the required supporting documentation by email to careers@sanas.co.za. The closing date is obviously Friday the 30th of January 2026 at 4:30. Please do not send your application after 4:30, because what they will do is they will then filter out the applications sent on the 30th of January, and then they'll see exactly for those coming after 4:30. Maybe they'll give you a grace period for 5 or 10 minutes later, but if you are sending it after 4:30, they might disqualify your application. And it also reads that incomplete applications will not be considered. Invest in your future with SANAS together. We build brighter futures through education. And if you do have a question or query or you need clarification, then you write to the same email address and you make it out to Mrs. Lesedi Apiri on your particular question, query, as well as clarification needed. So let's move over to the application form, which I pre-populated already, which is easy for you to follow, and obviously it takes less time for them to complete the application form, so you can obviously take up the moment to complete it as quickly as possible and then submit it to them before the deadline date. So what I've done is I've pre-populated information already on this particular application form. So it's basically a two-page application form. This is straightforward. It's not a complex application form that you need to complete. And we can start with the first section A, which is your particulars of the applicant. Your title will be Mr. So I'm using myself an example. I'm basically just using pseudonames, or many people call it fake names, just for the purpose of this particular exercise. Name will be John, surname will then be Smith. I'm race, which means I'm a colored. Then the gender would be male. The ID number would then be whatever particular ID number that it's obviously linked to you on your ID or on your birth certificate. You would obviously then list it here. Your student number, where applicable. So if you're still waiting to register, then you can just say not applicable right now, waiting to register. If you have already registered, you put in your student number. If you are second, third, or fourth year, you would obviously have an existing student number, which you can obviously include here. Then please specify your current academic status. Let's say you are applying for your first year university, it will then be undergraduate. If you are then done with your undergraduate, then you obviously state postgraduate if you're doing honors. Your residential and postal address typically tends to be the same unless you are in a different province. Then you would obviously put in your home address, which is your 147 Freedom Road as an example. And if you're, let's say you're studying in Gauteng, but you're from the Western Cape, but your postal address is then would then be in Gauteng because you want to receive whatever particular mails that you are there for the time being, then you would then obviously put in your Gauteng address, and then your residential will be your Western Cape address. Then your cell number, very importantly, that it must be the active cell number that you are currently using right now. The same with the email address. So when you are sending your application form as well as supporting documents, make sure that the email address listed on the application form is the same as what you are sending it from. So you do not send it now from def@gmail.com, but you're listing it here on the application form as ABC. So make sure that your application form has this exact same email address that you are sending your application forms with your supporting documents from. Then section B, which is the particulars of the qualification. Very importantly, attach your course outline. So try your best to go to university as soon as possible to get the course outline if you have not registered or after you have registered. Then I'm giving an example here. I will say BCom Human Resources. Our institution would be UWC, or short, which is short for Western Cape University. Then commencement of studies, you'll say 2nd February 2026, and then completion of studies will be the 15th December 2026. This is not if you're doing first year or whatever particular year. I'm just using a year as a particular example. Then you would list your modules if you have your course outline, business economics, management, whatever the case may be that's linked to my particular course that I'm studying. Then when it comes to the fees, please indicate the totals on the right column for the academic year. So registration will be 5,000 for an example, tuition will be 38K. You don't normally pay for examination, which is part of your tuition fee. Your books typically tends to be 5K, and then stationery, for like staplers, pens, books, whatever the case may be, we can put an average of 22K, sorry. Then I think in total this amounts to 50K. Then I obviously do ask important questions. Do you have a bursary from a government or private institution? You wouldn't say no. Are you a dependent of a SANAS employee? So let's say your mom or dad works for SANAS, you wouldn't say yes, but we're hoping that they don't work there because that makes your application slightly more favorable, because I'm assuming internally they would have a different bursary scheme for their kids and so forth. And to the last page, section C would be details of parents or guardian. Here I've basically made another example. Mrs. Claudia Smith, which is my mom, her ID number, her phone number, and if she's working, I'm putting her phone, telephone number on here. Then I'm also putting maybe the same email address as what I have. Then my relationship would then be she's my mom, and then here I would then replicate the residential address as what I have in the first page. Then section D is obviously applicable if you are a SANAS employee dependent, so you don't complete this section if your mom or dad or uncle or whatever the case may be works for SANAS. But if you are an external applicant, which you are, you will obviously complete section E. So copies of your matric certificate, very important. Make sure it's certified copy of your ID, payslip of parent, the guardian, main breadwinner. If your parent or guardian is not working at this particular moment, go to the police station and get an affidavit to confirm that your mom is not receiving any income. Make sure you have your course outline, very importantly, and then proof of admission or registration by a higher education institution. So make sure that you also have this ready. So these 5 documentations you would need to then make sure you have it readily available when you are sending your application form. Then you will say, I, the applicant, certify that the information supplied in this application is correct. So you'll say again, John Smith, my signature, and then obviously the date that I have completed this particular application form. The same for my mom in this particular example, Claudia Smith, and then the same address, and then you are basically done. And section G is where they will then approve it, sign it, and then they will then make sure that they communicate with you. But I just want to make reference to the email that I've sent to them this morning, which they've responded to. Kind of have automatic email. So it says, dear applicant, thank you for your interest in the SANAS external bursary program, and your request for the application form is received and noted. Please be advised that the application form was included on the reissued bursary advertisement on the SANAS website under latest news and events, Facebook and LinkedIn. We sincerely apologize for delay in responding to individuals' queries due to high volumes of interest received. Kindly note that the applications and all required supporting documents received will be reviewed after the closing date. That will be from the 2nd of February 2026. Applicants who qualify and meet the minimum requirements will be contacted by no later than the 15th of March 2026 in line with the SANAS's internal approval processes. Should you not receive feedback by the end of March, please consider your application unsuccessful. Then regarding your supporting documents, I like to use this particular website. I love PDF, where you go to this particular website, and if you have all your documentations in PDF, instead of having to bombard their email with too many documentations as part of the attachments, you can just go to merge. Then you can merge all your supporting documentations on together as one documentation, and when you do send your email over to them with your application form, and then it will be one PDF that has all your supporting documentations after each other, which makes it a little bit easier for the recruiter or for the HR team there then to review your application, and maybe it could be easier for them to process. Where there's a lot of documentation and it's all over the show, it's a human factor where people tend to kind of lose enthusiasm, they lose motivation, although they should not be doing that. But having a rowdy email with a lot of attachments makes the recruiter on the other end a little bit like despondent, because now they have to go to all of the attachments just to confirm whether you have submitted all the required documentation. But guys, all of the best. I hope this was as sweet as juice and it was not complicated, and I wish you well in your application for this particular bursary. And please do let me know in the comments or wherever you're seeing this video whether you are successful or not. Thank you very much.